What's up, Austin? It's Nikki. Are you tired of sending your food scraps and yard waste to landfills? Do you want to do your part for the environment? Well, join your neighbors in composting. It's easy. If it grows, it goes into your green composting cart every week. That includes food scraps, meat, dairy, and seafood. You can also compost food-soiled paper like greasy pizza boxes and paper towels. So visit austintexas.gov/composting for tips and resources. Let's make Austin a greener, more sustainable place, one compost cart at a time. Today on CityCast Austin, it's our Tuesday News Roundup. We're here to bring y'all up to speed on what's going on in Austin, like what's going on with the city's use of surveillance cameras at parks, and a disgusting animal that has Governor Greg Abbott very concerned, and some news about local ICE activity. It's Tuesday, February 3rd. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I am here with the best producer in town, Alyssa Castles. What's up, Alyssa?
Hello, hello.
And our amazing executive producer, Eva Ruth Morvek. What's up, Eva Ruth?
Hello, hostess with the mostest, Nikki.
So it is Tuesday. A lot of things have happened like over the weekend and the last couple of days. So off top, we're in an era of being surveilled everywhere. It is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in a tech-heavy city. So Austin is no exception. And some recent news about a pilot program that installed security cameras to reduce crime at Austin City parks is being touted by some and criticized by others. Eva Ruth, why don't you tell us about the surveillance in the park?
The story that I am currently obsessed with. Okay, yes, I would love to. So this came out recently that from 2022 up until last August, we've been doing a pilot program at 15 different city parks that have a lot of high visitor use. And the pilot program has been to install trailers with security cameras to basically keep an eye out and try to deter some of the crime that's been happening, like property crimes and especially burglaries of vehicles. And the Austin Parks and Recreation Department came out with a memo that basically like summarized how this pilot program has gone and also asked for an extension. They claim that the burglary of vehicles where these trailers were, there was a decrease in those incidents. And apparently, even after they took the trailers and cameras away, several parks continued to see a reduction in crime, including like the Barton Creek Greenbelt, Mayfield Park and Preserve, Northwest District Park, Turner Roberts Recreation Center, Roy G. Guerrero Park, and Zilker Park. So they're saying, look at what we did. This seemed to work. Now give us an extension. And the city was like, hold on. So it's now they're coming up to council to try to approve this extension of a contract on Thursday. But yeah, not everybody is super happy about this. And there are, there's some people who have raised their issues with the city council. And as a response, Mayor Pro Tem Chito Vela is like now introducing a resolution trying to establish some clear rules for surveillance technology and like limiting how it's used in Austin. And like it's already around us. Like
Totally.
We are being surveilled at the grocery store, at private businesses.
Right.
All the cameras on people's homes, our phones have so much data about us. But the Trust Act is what Chito Vela's act is called, and it would like just be really specific about how city contractors can use surveillance technology and prohibit facial recognition technology and also restrict some things like AI, machine learning tools, data collection and retention, and more. So I don't know. I think that they are trying to kind of wrestle with this thing, but it has benefits too. So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like the look of the cameras is what deterred crime. I don't know. Just the presence alone helped with that, right? Like, and now people are like, can't go there. There's cameras. possibly.
Yeah.
But it is true. We are being surveilled. Like, you don't even know. Like, yeah, the walking into the grocery store, walking into Target, walking around everywhere, there's cameras on you.
I feel like that for a long time, people have been using the old, like, just put a camera up there. It doesn't have to be on. It'll make people think that somebody is watching. And that does work. To your point, Alyssa, it works. But I think also, it's like, damn, we can't even be in the parks without being surveilled. It feels like since we are surveilled so often, like the few moments or the few times where we're not, like kicking it in the park.
Yeah.
It seems like a place that you wouldn't need to be surveilled, but maybe bad things happen in the parks. And I don't go enough to realize that bad things happen in the parks enough to where we need to surveil them.
Well, it's also like when one thing happens, I feel like people are always like, well, weren't there any cameras? Like, I mean, if there's a crime at somebody's, like in a neighborhood, people are always like, why didn't any of the door cameras or anything catch anything? And it's like, I feel like people want that technology when they're being victimized by something, but not like you're saying. I mean, you don't think about like, I'm at the park and I'm also being like, I'm on a control room screen somewhere. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. I like that facial recognition with Mayor Pro Tem Vela's resolution, the Trust Act. They're prohibiting facial recognition. I do like that. I like the restricting AI and machine learning tools. Restricting data collection. I like that because it kind of seems like that's the only safe way to do this. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way that you can do it where it won't come back to bite us in the ass later.
Right.
I'm really, really torn about this one. I'll be honest. It sounds crazy for somebody who is clearly an extrovert and likes attention to say that, like, I do not like to be videoed, but I don't. So it's like every time I see like my face pop up on somebody's screen, I'm like, God damn, like, I don't know. It feels intrusive, which is weird.
Yeah.
It feels weird and intrusive, and I don't know why. But then I'm the same woman that'll go to the airport and they're like, we're going to take your photo for facial recognition. I'm like, whatever, shit.
Yeah, they scan your eyes.
Have my likeness and my image. Yeah. And Nicole every single time does not. So now I've started doing it too. I'm just like, I'm opting out. You cannot have my image forever in perpetuity. But they already have it, bitch. Like they already have it.
This is already happening.
Yeah. It's hard. Ugh.
But I think the one thing that the city especially is like tiptoeing around, I guess, is that, we did have this contract with Flock Safety to do automatic license plate readers and start collecting all that evidence. And then they canceled that because there were issues with like how Flock was using that data.
Right.
Exactly.
And what if, your data at a park is being used and stored and somehow ends up being like filtered to ICE? Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's the big, I feel like everybody is being surveilled everywhere. Yes. And what's the city's role in like being responsible for your data?
Which is why I think Chita Vela's like resolution feels like a really happy medium of like, let's make sure that we're transparent and that this isn't happening. So that feels like an obvious answer.
Or we could just keep the cameras up and have them not connected to anything and see if that helps.
Just like the physical camera intimidating. Yeah, I like that.
The other thing that I don't really like about it is that it's a 3-year term. A lot can happen in 3 years. A lot of laws can change. A lot of legislation can change.
That's true.
It feels like 3 years is a long time to be like, let us just video you a little bit in the park. It's not going to hurt anything for 3 years. Like, nah, let's do this every year and revisit and see how it's going and see if it makes sense with the way that the political climate is to keep doing something like this. Just in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I would say if this is something that it matters to you, pay attention this week at City Council. You can go down and speak your mind and share your thoughts on how you want them to use surveillance technology, and get involved.
Love that.
Listen, I love it. We're getting close to the time of year when we start thinking about spring cleaning and home improvements. Maybe you've noticed your heater running a bit more than usual, or maybe you've noticed higher electricity bills. Well, it could be time for you to replace your old builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. Check this out. You can choose from over 1,500 styles and colors. They measure 3 times to make sure your windows fit perfectly. Windows can be installed in 1 day or less, and they come with a lifetime warranty. And if you're worried about breaking the bank, Window Nation has you covered. You can get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Plus, Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale is going on right now. And if that's not enough, act now and you can get an extra 10% off for Valentine's Day. So schedule a fast, free estimate now at windownation.com. Y'all, as if 2026 is not bad enough already. It hasn't started off rough. Evidently, we have a new fly we have to worry about.
No.
Y'all know how much I hate bugs. I hate bugs so much. Flies are the reason I do not eat outside, just as a side note, because I'm not trying to fight any other insect for my food, but I digress. This new fly is called the Texas New World Screwworm, or the NWS. And just a little bit.
It sounds like a nickname, like when you're mad at someone, you screwworm. Like,
so Governor Greg Abbott has issued a statewide disaster declaration to better equip the Texas New World Screwworm, or the NWS, response team to prevent the potential spread of this fly into Texas and to better protect our livestock and wildlife. Now, it has to be said, actually, let me tell you what this is first.
Please.
It is a parasitic fly primarily found in South America, Haiti, Cuba, and the Dominican Republic, whose larvae infest and feed on the living tissue of warm-blooded animals, including livestock and wildlife. And according to Google, your pets. It is disgusting. Do not look it up. If you are squeamish like me and you are easily skeeved out, don't do it. The NWS fly is not yet present in Texas or the U.S., but its northward spread from Mexico towards the U.S. southern border poses a serious threat to our livestock industry and wildlife.
It's coming across the border,
It's coming across the border. So first of all, the timeline of this is crazy. So now we're just now hearing about this, right? So Governor Greg Abbott issued this disaster declaration late last week. But the U.S. was notified in November of 2024, originally, of a detection in Mexico. And it seems like they just tried to keep it under wraps. And then
they tried to fix it.
They tried to fix it, and it just kept getting worse. So the chief veterinary officer of Mexico notified USDA of a positive detection of this fly in Mexico in November of 2024. And then USDA suspended cattle and bison imports from Mexico after a positive detection of this fly, right? So they're like, yep, okay, we see it. No cattle, no bison coming across this border. So then in February, they're like, okay, we're good. They resumed the import of the cattle and bison and implemented a comprehensive pre-clearance inspection. Then on May 11th, they suspended it again. They suspended live cattle, horses, and bison imports again from Mexico because it was detected like 700 miles from the border.
It's getting closer.
It's just, look, the fly is getting closer and closer and closer. So then in June, the USDA announced a 5-pronged plan to address the fly, including the launch of an $8.5 million sterile NWS fly dispersal facility in South Texas to eliminate the presence of the pest, okay? But only at the border. In June, Governor Greg Abbott decided that they needed to establish a joint Texas NWS response team to lead the prevention and response efforts. And then in July, like, we got to get these ports open again. So
we need the meat.
We need the meat. We need our meat. But now the flies are 370 miles from the border. So they literally keep getting closer and closer and closer. And now Greg Abbott is like, you know what? Forget it.
Oh, gosh.
So he's investing in the new domestic sterile screwworm production facility in Edinburgh, Texas, with the capacity to produce 300 million sterile flies per week so it can combat the spread toward. So it's like their fix is they get all these sterile flies to get it on with the NWS flies, and that's going to mitigate the issue.
Oh, no.
Listen, this is the plan. This is the plan that we've come up with.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture and the state are okay. All
so
right.
It's like the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department and the Texas Animal Health Commission. They are the joint Texas New World Screwworm Response Team.
Got it.
And then they're partnering with the Department of Agriculture and Secretary Brooke Rollins to create this $750 million domestic sterile NWS production facility.
We're breeding flies.
We're breeding flies to mitigate the flies that are coming to us. Yes.
Like, what if this just, I'm worried about you, Nikki. You already don't like flies. This sounds like just a whole bunch more flies in the area.
Here's what's so funny about this. The urgency that Governor Abbott is having. Like, he is taking this so seriously. This is his quote. "State law authorizes me to act to prevent a threat of infestation that could cause severe damage to Texas property, and I will not wait for such harm to reach our livestock and wildlife."
Okay.
With this statewide disaster declaration, the Texas NWS response team can fully utilize all state government prevention and response resources to prevent the reemergence of this destructive parasite. Texas is prepared to fully eradicate this pest if need be. Like, this man is like, like, he's just like, don't come over here with this. Like, he's fully invested.
I mean, we're the leading beef producer in the United States. And these screwworm flies apparently can kill cattle after, I believe, just a week, from what I read. They lay their eggs inside a cut of a cattle, and they can lay up to 300 eggs at a time. It apparently has a very distinctive foul odor, and also treating it is a huge pain. Someone has to pick them out one by one and then put ointment on it. So it just sounds like
what
if it actually
lice infestation.
Yeah, if it does come, sounds pretty disastrous.
Yeah, it sounds really bad. Very bad.
Let me tell you something. That's not for the weak. That is not. You know what I would never be able to do? Pick anything off my pet one by one.
You're not volunteering for the NWS response team, Nikki?
Not.
But I want to see their merch.
Their merch?
Like, okay, I am envisioning that this NWS response team is kind of like a Ghostbusters vibe.
No, ma'am.
They've got to have some kind of like Tyvek suit. And I bet they have a fun logo. Like, don't you want to see what their little like...
I bet you they have a lame logo. I bet you it's so lame. I bet you they are missing out on the opportunity.
But they're on the Screwworm Task Force. That's like they have to have an amazing name. The Screwworm Task Force.
Task Force.
Yeah.
NWS Task Force.
Stopping the screws.
Do it in, they should do it. They should do it in the NWA.
Oh, yeah. Font.
They should do it in the NWA font. NWS Task Force.
No limit screwworms.
Listen,
except for they do have limits. The limit is the Texas border.
So listen, y'all be on the lookout for these NWS flies, because they are evidently 370 miles away from the border. So
good Lord,
I'm good on that.
But
it's time to become vegetarians, everyone.
Listen, hopefully this sterile production facility in Edinburgh will save us all. And we won't have to worry about it. But let me tell you something. My skin has been itching all morning just thinking about it. It's gross.
Yikes.
It is very terrifying.
So at the end of last week, Austinites made their voices heard by protesting and pushing back against ICE actions that have been taking place in Minnesota and around the country. So, Friday was the blackout, where you were supposed to do no shopping, no work, no school, no shopping, all of that stuff. Alyssa, why don't you bring us up to speed on that?
Yeah. So like you mentioned, Friday was this national day of action against ICE. And in Austin, we saw a few businesses had decided to take part, and they weren't open for the full day of Friday. I also saw some businesses decided, we can't really afford to do that. A lot of restaurants I saw did this. So we're going to be open, and we're donating a portion of our proceeds to various organizations. And then also AISD middle and high school students were walking out of their classes on Friday to march in the streets, eventually leading to the Texas Capitol, where other people were demonstrating there. And even when the Capitol grounds closed, they took their march into the streets, and a few people were arrested on Friday. So the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, caught wind of this. He saw some videos that were posted of the students protesting near district police vehicles, and he's now called on the Education Commissioner, Mike Morath, to investigate these student demonstrations. And now Attorney General Ken Paxton is also demanding information from AISD. He wants their policies on letting students leave campus, excused absences, security protocols, and any internal communications regarding the protests, according to a statement he sent out.
There were quite a few. I did see some of the videos on social media of students, and there were a lot. And I did one thing that I saw people getting really upset about, which was interesting, but like there were middle and high school students, and they were chanting and holding signs, and several, a lot of the message was F ICE, and there was some stuff I saw on social media about like, how are they using this language?
Well,
y'all know we like that language is kind of everywhere, right?
Yes.
Like it is everywhere. And I will, just to like put this out there, I do feel like most of the protesting, like there's some people who are just like, we want to shut down ICE completely, but there's a lot of growth in people who are protesting ICE's tactics.
Right.
Like, okay, we have enforcement, we have immigration laws, stuff has to happen in some way, whatever. But like, how is the law being imposed right now? That seems to be very dangerous.
Right.
And what tactics ICE officers are using or federal officers are using to try and enforce this law, which seems really like vague also.
Right.
I think, whereas part of me agrees with like, oh, it's the tactics. I think we got to get rid of it altogether and start from scratch because it's not working. I just think just having these ICE agents as is this entire, it's not working. Like it just doesn't work. You can't even, I don't even think you can start with just the tactics. You got to scrap it all together.
The whole thing. Well,
the whole thing and start over or not do it at all, in my opinion.
Yeah. There are people who are watching what's happening and they are A-okay with what's going on. So it's very interesting to see that too, which is maybe not so much in Austin, but there are places that.
I think even in Austin, there are people who think that, the border, closing the border is a good thing and that we do need to, people want the enforcement to happen. But I think like the confusion is also about, and I think a lot of the mistrust is like, who are you going after? There was this idea we're going after the biggest, worst criminals of all. And then, a 5-year-old gets, arrested and taken to a facility in South Texas.
So it's like,
is that kid really a criminal or the parents,
Yeah. So as part of a response from Greg Abbott's investigating this AISD situation, the superintendent, Matias Segura, sent a letter to families saying that the protests were not endorsed by the district. However, they were committed to ensuring student safety during school hours because they are responsible for these students, whether they're on campus or not. And then, of course, on Saturday, there was a very big rally held by some pretty big Texas Democratic leaders. It was in Pan Am Park on the east side, and 5,000 people were in attendance, which is a pretty big crowd. State Representative James Tallarico, Representative Greg Casar, and Representative Joaquin Castro were there and spoke to the people gathered with all of their signs as they rallied. There was also people who spoke about their own encounters with ICE. One lady mentioned her husband's detainment, how it happened really suddenly. She got a call from the gas station he was at. And a lot of the messaging was about really thinking about the upcoming election, you do have a say in what's going on. And they were registering people to vote at the rally as well.
How convenient, since some of those speakers are running for office.
How convenient. Indeed. Yeah.
Well, that is, in addition to that, there were a shit ton of people there.
Yeah.
There was a lot happening. There were people walking from all the way from 7th Street with their signs. We saw them out. And yeah, it feels really good to see people, show up in whatever way makes sense for them. And they're exercising their rights in whatever way makes sense for them, whatever feels safe for them.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome to see across the board. Yeah. I'm especially proud of the babies.
Yeah, those kids, I mean, it's amazing. Young people,
listen,
they got it going on. They stand for something. It's great.
Yeah. And the main pushback that Abbott, I don't know if you read this, but I thought his quote was important, that why Abbott was so opposed to it is that AISD, he said, gets taxpayer dollars to teach the subjects required by the state, not to help students skip school to protest. But I think they got marked as absent anyway if they did choose to protest. But that was his main opposition to it, or at least his stated opposition, while it may also be the message of the walkout and the protest too, He's not going to say that part, though, out loud, I would imagine.
No.
But, he is also running for re-election, and he's got a base that he has to appeal to, too.
Right.
And his base is saying,
students should not be participating in these things during school hours.
Yeah, and we should be all behind the president's immigration policy. I mean, not all. I think he has said some stuff about the tactics, too. But, yeah, let's enforce those immigration laws.
Congratulations, kids. I love to see it. I would much rather you take an absence for something like this than senior skip day, which every Texas high school absolutely does. But we're cool. It's all good. Congrats, kids. I think it's dope. You
Auntie
guys are
Nikki
awesome.
is proud of you.
I'm very proud. Very, very proud. I just watched all those videos crying in my chair. Just like, look at the babies. Protect them at all costs. Anyways, we're in unprecedented times, especially here in Austin. Things are not amping up, but things are changing. We will be here to keep you informed as we can. And we love doing it. And thank you for tuning in. Alyssa, Eva Ruth, thank you so much.
Let's have a great week.
And this Tuesday News Roundup. I'm looking forward to seeing what else happens in the city this week. Yeah. You guys are great. Thanks for doing this.
Happy Tuesday. Bye.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Happy Tuesday. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friend that's afraid of flies like me? Rate the show, leave us a review, and of course, subscribe to our newsletter. And if you really, really love us and you want to go to our cute-ass event that we got coming up that we've already told y'all about on February 12th at Stargazer, become our neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.